We take pride in satisfying every customer's financial needs.
Introducing the future of hassle-free and seamless financial transaction. The Yuna Wallet app, empowering you to effortlessly manage your money anytime, anywhere. With the Yuna Wallet app, you can now enjoy branchless banking, wallet-to-wallet transfer, wallet-to-cash, and bank cross-border payments. Deposit at a bank and withdraw from any Yuna branch. Get ready to experience the ultimate banking convenience with the Yuna Wallet app. With just few taps on your phone, you can effortlessly add funds, withdraw, and send money to your loved ones. The Yuna Wallet app also provides a detailed history of your transaction, making it easier to track your expenses. So, what are you waiting for? Download the Yuna Wallet app today on Play Store or App Store and say goodbye to hassle of traditional banking. Yuna Forex Bureau Limited, delivering much more than money.
Ngal bismillah na Kerr Fatou program to kamin natale aramisa murunta na back again nyamra nas program flow kabrin salo bota
kabrin salo
Eid Mubarak to you all mol mini alon ko wollem follow salo watola ngal konton salo la honorable ngi bismillah program salo keta nyaadi nyamra kabrin salo keta nimbite mete man findi sa asata because of lero min kela salo kita nyari.
Tuh ko nako bentunya dolo.
Apa mulai drum lagi ni di antara ibalon alfang.
Bari nga mobe kontong, ikon ni kontong mobe dawo da membe program la be kan CeesayNational ting.
Hade.
Ka fo Eid Mubarak. Tambita salo tambita bari alama mabela anyon jamala.
Amin.
Alama mo kende mabela rafanan. Jada kende ani simaya alama ale beso wala.
Hade.
Nasaba de fol men tambita alama ale so arjana kallan ke wala. Kontan da bake bejang.
Ha.
Kobe ya punya men untuk benar selalu akan ada tambi. Leo angkasa ngadi mau lebar ko mukama.
Bah na.
So ngole ke.
Ngole ke na. O bar leo me junku fodi.
Ani.
O bah na mol min be jibero ni la moy droy balon na lan kamin fo. Onte. Honorable di nakachabe kala min tolom the offenses bill ka fa nyaade criminal offense bill inin honorable madi sisele nyanta tarla jang bari last minute ngamre koy kokos meeting lesto UDP ni la parti di bari yalo nyakule we nyim parti flol be kon mimbe trending kam bi wolam ato la parti o nyakubi je bari UDP fana kuno nga me lo mo lo fana be bomol faila so kam ta parti flol be kono bari nga sa ato la parti ala pati wa kam to ko
ndar man nyako soro folo
hani nyakule balea ima yudi ima fen kol to moy bang WhatsApp group sol to be janjang kan pati fen kol kono ala pati youth president ke ba mari boja last week ya moy la ni fen kele sita ja to dum bay sankare nyol ko e pati ko to lo e katawole register NDP national yalom bay alafta democracy to la back ate buka fo United Democratic Party ka fo United Democracy Party so ay democracy bondi woto ay national bondi NPP so kam to ko nyim parti lo le wala blend NDP lo alla national youth president ke ba madi bojang e ko long insurance moto insurance wala toya ke ba atelong conductor ti lamin jata o faram bu passenger doleti bari ya fanya mobile fangale be nyim parti ko mo combo bon sungol lebe NDP ko mente ni wato ko be NDP yalonte party kuto dron ngajel do fana na ba nyoto ko nombe NDP le. But on a serious note though, Allah party Keba Madi is the National Youth President. Lamin Jatta was the Allah West Coast chair, but now in the National Executive. Allah founding members like Bai Sankare, Lamin Turenyol, and all the stuff. Kebe Mwela, come to Mo Jamal Benim Pati Okon. Actually, what I as a party.
Well, actually, okay. Maranga for them, Kondafaranga may coming more cap with Yamendrom. Officially, Mom Kumamway, because I'm an executive member, Kapoko. In being a quarter, or maybe a financial as a particular cafe to resign or more do my number on the world and more capa, a particular quarter, the property to Minakan and things. So there are reactions, no way, but Namin believe the Olango, I mean, Duniake, in political, Bill Cookin, Hansa and Kiamadamo, youth president for NPP. I'm a resign and many people are coming a bit over the we know them. So, Patinia Metal Dronko, they are still with us. Until finding your proof they are no longer there, it will tara kudolto. Maybe then that's the time the party will come out to Kahumole.
But I'll keep your farafo. But you know, Mamma obesiar ne Keba Madi Yolom combo bonsung ulti.
Yeah, and Kijafaro, Hadiala Hamu Hani Kija for a cool and traffic in the Mulekon Kija and Farole. Eva, you will deal with it inside.
Okay.
So, but Namela Wallen in the co, we are together, and I think we will continue to lobby Prungatara Pukulin for that.
But you are 7 days the deal. I think some Friday low elapsed la. But the intending Keba Madi Minfunya, Manta Jabirka. Keba Manta and Nuni Keba Mal Jabsira album.
No, nobody else but more rights to associate. So anybody can associate anybody want to. Yeah, home executive decisional design. Nimper level to maybe communication from executive. Where now executive will design the side.
So Mambala, someone will ask me. No, but UDP for a come to go. You want to go to Bejekan Ibal Tonyela because I love to do Yokono. But Kunungamele may low for an interview at a Fanabo module fight. I could come fly UDP. Talib camp and in Davo camp.
Yeah, no program on Lamere, but we come here for Yamendro. You'll be, you know, issue will start. I think that's normal as well. Issue that traje, but Menkuma wanting a Kapunyo Hangaji, how do you resolve these issues internally? What come at back? But yeah, I'm talking about by the little promoter and to look at it. Will promoter and Lutago. Nadi. It might be Madi Manano phone. Madi
forcing you show confirm. But I am calling, hey. Fatou Abdoulie binale de bari intolnga caucus meeting with our party leader ngai mu never caring
tolmanda caucus la
ngai mu never caring alfananga caucus le mala mu never caring de bari bi akonye wala sotora akonye nte dileno.
I know I mean I think it's normal in every political party issues will arise how do you resolve those issues in political to bayala among because more la mira nyam clear hanal be kuklik.
Yeah.
So sometimes mira nyaming is different. So none of the wrong nga singa kacha nga jubi how do you resolve it all the time. Even in my own party, people will come with alternative ideas, kakudo some they are different from what other people are thinking.
Yeah.
But none of the wrong. Let's dialogue and see how do we resolve. Now Mantano, we can always part ways and see and move on. That's it.
So new party kuto mimbe loka actually ojinyali ngajele bifanang new party nata ADD. I think one Malik Camera also only the leader secretary general.
So you know new political parties will emerge, but it's going to be difficult, huh? Although we welcome them, it's going to be difficult.
It's going to be why?
Gambia is small, the population is small. If you look at the voter population ranging, I mean like almost 90% of the voter population will be decided already. So,
but then you don't think people also more careful because there's this survey. I don't know how true the survey is. Majority of Gambians are not identifying with any party because maybe they are exhausted. They don't want any of these parties. They want to see something fresh. So in America, that can happen.
Well, I take a different view on that. You know. Like I said, Gambia, many because we like a mostly. So 90% of that, will decide
90%.
Decide. Wow. Because if you go to, let's look at these three political parties maybe existing in Gambia currently, or four. NPP, UDP, GDC, and of course APRC.
Yeah.
Now,
Doi.
All the population of Bondi Bang, meant to coma. I mean, because how did all deal be a family? They must find their parents to align themselves to a political party. And if another Muslim, if another aligned world,
most likely,
for another community, to a certain level, I feel like they wanted to change, they change. But women see, it's very significant. But every household, the parent can be UDP. Look at the family. Most of them will also be UDP. If they are NPP, of course, the kids also will follow. So political in Kenya katawal nyama. Unless for me, kebata bake, if that level of doro, exposed her, or look at different views even from their parents. No, my father is supporting UDP, but I'm supporting NPP. So I think new political parties will come, but yeah, it will be difficult.
It will be difficult.
Very difficult.
Very difficult. Yeah. Now, before we go to this bill, I want to. You are the chairman of the commission. Mia Lonkoya set up for the Jane Commission la Fenkol sales minketa. Obviously, Malagan Republic now. Mustafa Kedawo. La story kabra fintita. There was some revelation. Obviously, akita kuti Mia Lonko akandita numbanko kang or another Cairo keje. The National Assembly ali extraordinary session okay bile tunkara di Allah leader extraordinary session on Ati, and then the assembly is going to do an investigation into this, and you are the chairman of that commission, right? Now tell us about the commission. I know Albe Parika, we are not going to get into details, but it's important for Gambians to know commission muna role ti albe munekela and albe minto albe tembeda jumal.
Yes, thank you. Do ko Parliament la commission established a special select committee Basically, we are doing parliamentary work. Do ko nag ay fanna jamal so dumi also we need model la service for them because we are not experts in those areas.
Yeah.
Currently, committee the committee is called a special select committee. But of course, I have members. They are good in their own domain. Often the committee so that we can work together and see what we can achieve. Also, we have the National Assembly Service, let's say the Office of the Clerk and other stakeholders. So, national auditing dole. So currently, what we are doing a lot. We're moving out. We're trying to make sure that we get to our stakeholders. Currently, those things are happening right now. So, we look at the mandate of the committee from the most of them from table in Parliament. Picking them from there. What are we supposed to do exactly is to go after, the Jare Commission implementation of Then we look at the gaps, what had happened, whether there were transparency and accountability in the sales of those assets. Although it's a bit difficult, but we will make sure we know main transpire and then we bring the recommendations forward. I don't want to go in detail, but I know we are doing a very good job currently. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't know, but we will come out to the media and then more balance exactly how far we have gone and what we have achieved. Currently, the Office of the Clerk, our lawyers are doing a very good job. Although we're on the ground for now. So people are not seeing us moving, but there are a lot of work going on currently. Ceesay underneath. So but I'm sure we will come out and tell people exactly.
Yeah, and because the reason why it's important to have this conversation is Mojamako Kabraftat Morko, what capacity does the assembly have, right? Number one, Moli will bring up the capacity to properly investigate something this complex, right? And secondly, I'll come to that, the political aspect, how, because we know the assembly is a political house, motto binol. And to be honest, we also have seen that people are divided when it comes to political. So we'll be the concerns the Mia raise. But first, the capacity to investigate something this big, Mia Lonko is big and wide and does the assembly really have the capacity to do a proper investigations on the sales of the Jame assets?
Well, if you talk about capacity now, you know, parliament is just parliament. I mean, our work is parliamentary for one thing. And what we'll do is we do parliamentary job as well as a committee.
Yeah.
So if they talk about capacity, our intellectual capacity, of course, yeah, I feel maybe we do not, have the sufficient knowledge to probe into these issues. They have right to their opinion, but I think we hold a different view.
Okay.
So we are not new in the job. We have done a lot of things underneath committee work. We are not new in committee activities for one thing. So we know how committees operate. We know what we are supposed to ask and what not to ask. So you call for naman come and call, told them about here and then decide and do whatever you want to do now. You work with people. I may not have capacity, but somebody else may have capacity within the group.
Yeah.
Who knows something better than I know. So the work is going to be told them about make sure that we do the right thing. As chairperson, I don't have the absolute power to say this is how it should be or not.
Yeah.
My role is to facilitate, to make sure meetings are going on and everything is done accordingly. So that is why we have a technical support group working with us and all that. And this composed of people, they have the background to ensure that they support the committee in the exercise of their function. So people have right to their opinion. They can think about that.
Yeah.
They can think like that as well. But I think we will surprise them.
Okay.
Inside.
I'm hopeful. But immediately, for on the political angle, somebody said this to me, and I said it here on the show, the Russian oil saga. Mia Natinang is part of Atolla Kokos Lefong, right? And Rebel Jawara long kodi. Seni. Aketa kuti mi along ko afengita. Baringa we covering the investigation ya da anyatiling direction dole ladrong alia put on hold. Are we going to see something like that here? Because to be honest, how can I don't want to say this, but for example, if the investigations gives directions to somebody at State House, will this committee headed by you would something like that work? Because that is the concern. Because to be honest, National Assembly, and it's not just the NPP camp, it's all these camps. And I think something like this should be a national issue. And I think that's why a lot of people have concern that it is the National Assembly that is investigating this.
No, but I think we should also understand, even the president is concerned about this. So I don't think there will be any political interferences, both from the top or even within ourselves. No. We will do our normal committee job.
Yeah.
Political party killing for. So I'm not sure I'll be there to support my political because I feel like somebody in my party is affected, so that party shouldn't come. Or maybe Madi will think, because we are summoning somebody from the UDP, and I think as UDP member wouldn't allow us to do it. No, that wouldn't happen. Our work is basically on the mandate given to us by the National Assembly. And we want to make sure we stick by that and then do the job. Anybody who is affected, anywhere you are, we will, of course, we will call you and then you will tell us what you know. So the issue is not about whether State House or wherever you are. Even the president is concerned about this. I think
yeah.
So that is where we hold it. It's important for us to get into this and then move on as a country.
So session over Kela open session let me uncle people will come and testify and you ask questions like you have a lead counsel. What kind of session let it? Is it going to be an open session where people can
I know I don't want to get into those things now because as a committee we are doing a lot of work on the ground and then we will get to this point as a committee, let's sit and discuss. But I'm so we have a team that we are working with. It's going to be open, of course, now after our level 2. People will hear and they will see what is happening. Nothing is going to be hidden. No, we will do that. But all the other issues will come later. I wouldn't want to say those things
openly. Want to say that. And then what assurance do you want to give the Gambian people if the committee comes up with recommendations? How transparent is this committee going to be? This is one thing people want to know. We just want assurance.
But everybody will know.
You as the chairman, giving us assurance will mean a lot. Gambianola.
No, but even the recommendation that is going to come out from this it's not solely mine. I mean, it's going to go to plenary for plenary to adopt it and then bring a resolution out of it. And of course, give the executive to implement. So we are hopeful they will implement. We are hopeful. We are very, very hopeful. So, but then our recommendation also is not Parliament can hold a different view to our recommendation and say, you know, the recommendation that you brought, we don't agree.
So, Nink Atuliala recommendation of Kavita, the entire, the whole house.
The report will go
to the whole house.
The plenary, and then the report will go with the recommendation.
Yeah.
So, saying the recommendation on the report on the adobla by the plenary, so they can, as a sembo meng yalanko, what about the executive implement nola? Fight happily because remember our mandate is given to us by the assembly. So we can only report back to the assembly. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. So the assembly ko halo ni ko hani o hanilo.
But I'm so go. I
jele committee ka for committee stage na assembly.
But remember,
kunun almo ke mo la diaspora voting kanan sambot.
No, but that's it's a different thing. It's a different thing.
I know it's different, but still, maybe I have a haja. I'll change mine. Mama could change mine.
No, but you put a because like everybody will know what the recommendations are, and then you know, even the public.
Especially the government people are very interested in this.
Yeah. So volume.
Okay, interesting. We look forward to that. So we see. So let's look at the the criminal offences bill. In below, it just came to my attention recently, and I'm thinking. Muna nyimbilo fa muntu male nata assembly to fo nyimbe keda ndenga nyimbilo commanding omwele ba fula ko ndiro bari we didn't know the details of this bill muntu male nyimbilo nata national assembly to.
This bill came since in the 5th legislature. Criminal offences made a parliament.
Covering 5th legislature.
It's a carried over
2022.
2020 langanata. 2022 funding sign thing abeje.
Okay.
It's a carried over bill. Remember in the 5th legislature, cabinet parliament la tambanta. Cabinet 6th legislature. Personally, I put up a motion to carry forward all the bills among address in the 5th legislature, so that they can go straight to the relevant committees in the 6th legislature. So the criminal offense is one of them. Member and transit from the 5th to 6th legislature, and then the Human Rights Committee took it over to work on it. Madi is the chair of the Human Rights Committee.
Yes.
So all along we've been working on it though. I time tally because it's not a simple bill. Controversial, a lot of clauses, you know, and it needs a lot of explanation as well.
Okay.
So the consultation it was not simple. You have to bring in a lot of stakeholders to hear their view, the police and everybody, the lawyers, everybody must come and so that, you know, ila position, you know, any committee here and tell them what you think about the bill. So this process has taken a lot of time. But if you read it now, the objective was to ensure that, you know, to bring a bill that will address all the gaps. Let's say the first criminal offences bill that Gambia was using was since 1933. That was a long time.
Yeah.
So I think
that's since we have the
wow the offences that we were using.
Okay.
So now to have a new one, of course, they have to, you know, move away from that one and get a new one.
A new one.
So the new one, if you look at the old one, I'm not going to capture because now you know, generation can change. A lot of things, emerging issues are coming up.
Yeah.
So to close the gap, you must get a new one. But of course, you have to bring in all these things together. Some of them, you are not seeing them happening, but you are foreseeing them.
Yeah.
And you think it's important for you to bring them in law, so that in case although they are family experience but there was no law to address them. Of course, you have to bring in the provision to ensure that, you know, so all the theater belonging, I mean, I wouldn't be able to say all of it, but I know a lot of things are there because it goes with the criminal procedure bill. The offenses and the procedure goes together. So the clauses are a lot. But you see new elements public.
Yeah.
Yesterday I saw a post on Facebook. We were talking about even fortune tellers, how we criminalize, you know.
And I want to come to some of those. For example, let's start with the insults. Because ntemo understand no. I mean, honestly, I don't insult and I don't encourage insult, and I'm not going to encourage anybody to insult anybody. But in my, just like Mari Jobata said, it's discriminatory. Because I told National Assembly members who are lemneke, akoni momi a president oneng, and in public officer solo, and ingolo. But ali atol fongole dan the mass sansang in this bill. It has to do with the National Assembly members, the president, and public officers. But there are other people who are very elderly statespeople in this country. This bill does not capture them. People can insult those people and it's not a crime. But people that are serving us, because the National Assembly is service, Office of the President is service, ministers is service, directors, managing directors, these are service. They are serving the people. That's why we buy you a Prado. That is why we give you fuel coupon. That's why we give you dressing allowance. We give you all of those benefits. I don't get any of these benefits, right? Because I'm not in government public service, right? Even though I'm doing my own service. But we do all of this, but still, if somebody says something nasty to you, you can still take the call. But me, the other person, me along kofana mantara service to, but maybe kuna benunjel or alfalom banko kang, those people are not protected. How did that come about?
Okay, I know this issue was, came out of, should I say, frustration to bring in an insult clause in the criminal offenses. Yeah. Because a lot of things were happening in the Gambia as well. Yeah. When it comes to insulting public officials in the execution of their duties. So there was no way to address them. And it was only possible that you bring something like that in the offences bill so that you start address no. Yeah. But I think I agree. Yeah. Because yes, in as much as we have that for public officers, of course, it also should reciprocate to the other side also. Yeah. And make so even the citizens are also, because we are all citizens at the end of the day. Yeah. As a public officer, I am a citizen first before a public officer. Yeah. So I need to make so which is normal. So I agree to that. I think when we were doing this, we were not thinking in that line. Or some people will say, "No," but I said, we can look into this again. The bill is there. Yeah. We have the powers to an amendment. Yeah. Any member can go in for that. We can do an amendment to look at it and say, yes, this one is fine, but I think we need to also add this component as well. So that I'm more based.
Because especially because I think nobody should encourage insults. And I'm one person, I'm not criticizing this part, but I feel like it should be more inclusive. Because for example, party leaders all right, and the you want to maintain law and order, you need law but lua belale kan, right? Ibe sila kake. But neatrako, ikantela party leader all the time, and lua tije means saying protect from that. I will take the law into my hands to ngafu komba fight lamfaye. Then new keterek, a civil disobedient and natila wara fitu na bankoka. So putting those people and religious leaders and others in that bracket would have been good. But Molba Jibela Nyame Wolonko atoli alfang protect because Niajube, the president, the vice president, members of the National Assembly as a civil servant in the exercise of their functions. It's just these people.
Yeah, coming up, maybe when we were thinking about this, the way we conceive the idea was to look at, because like I said, the experience maybe yeah, but I think it should go beyond that. I agree with you. So we can look into this. The bill has been passed. Yeah. But it's still within our reach to do an amendment. So anybody can.
You have the majority in the assembly.
No, amendment can come from anybody.
No, but you have we all know how things are done.
Me, I can do an amendment.
That's what I'm saying. You guys have the majority. Will you be open to doing something like this?
Of course, yes, because,
obviously we want to protect also Alpha.
We want the good of this country as well. Some people will say, no, you don't want the good of the country. We want that as well. That, yeah. Like I said, I agree. Maybe when we were conceiving the idea, we are not thinking in that line. People start reacting. No, so we went back and said, I had interaction with people, a lot of people. Yeah, so many people, even outside the Gambia. They sent me messages, they called me, I spoke to them, they told me what they think. Yeah. And I agree with them, Kafako. Yes, It should be like that. I am not above the law. You understand? I don't want citizens to insult me. Of course, I shouldn't also insult them. You understand? Even though I don't do that, I don't insult people, but I shouldn't
but
even
the law should protect everybody.
Exactly, yeah. So
and I think that
I agree with that.
And I mean, because to be honest, our politics is very toxic.
Sure,
so Nindro but even if it protects the ordinary citizen, but it kind of looked in my mind.
The only thing would have been like, okay, even when you think about that, how are you? Okay, even insult national sign, because even this one is only saying, when me as public officer in the execution of my duties, like I'm a member of parliament doing my job, and somebody is insulting me because I am doing my job.
And this is, even in that part, I have an issue because, for example, lawmakers make decisions for us, and some of these decisions you guys make are life decisions, right? Because you make laws that governs all of us, right? You are the one that, for example, nimbojetonata, atoleka slice, alia fenka, alia kuntung, alia hoten kodi. So a majority of the things that you do as lawmakers affects all of us directly. For example, if you make a law that is discriminating against me, or you make a law, sakalo libel below, abiyatodung, Allah fenko. Cyber criminal below. Cyber security. Lalu pasal lumina. Walau ngal benjela National Assembly. No walumbinal. Walumbinal ngal benya kono jibe min ba vote la. Because I know that is targeting us. But we will come there. But for example, if you make laws that really touches our life, sometimes people get frustrated. And to say something to your National Assembly members because they have made the wrong laws that will affect your life, that is normal.
But you know, when I am working as a member of parliament, so many people will say, oh no, because he's working for the individual. You know, they tend to forget that also I have people, you know, who voted for me into office. And sometimes I do things that, I mean, these people also support me. They are also Gambians. But, you know, for me, I cannot photo. I think we need to protect everyone. But coming left me for the wrong. Nico nkara nyobaning now. Ala implementation on saying because even this one, people are telling me it will be difficult for us to implement it because if I insult you, what kind of insult? What do you consider as insult? Exactly.
That's what my next question is. Even how do you determine what is directly an insult?
Yeah, exactly. So people are. I had an interaction with somebody in Germany. He's a Gambian. He sent me a lot of things, and then I had a conversation with him. His ideas were very good because he was telling me a lot of things. I was never thinking like that. So I come to a conclusion. Yes, we have this law, but we still need to improve the law. Police implement or stuff. So I agree. As a representative and as a lawmaker, I agree. We need to improve that particular clause. Although right now Abidjila follow like that, but maybe I need to improve that for sure.
Honorable, new law to me for on the rape, murder, robbery, especially murder and rape. Na law to me right now, they are not bailable offense. Ebuka more bail no ni more rape commit. Or I more far ebuka bail soto. Right? Eke remand but in law akutoto ali ofalini.
Yeah, but you know, if you're accused of something that you haven't done now, not that you're accused. How do you get that done? Because let's say you can carry more rape, arrest. Now, I'm not going to part of the rape from a rape, but you're accused because maybe evidence. I mean, but in law, I mean, in the court, you can only be bailed. Judge, approve. Judge approve. So it means court la decision design because court like a more strong. Court left like a more bail. And bail for any conditional like a another more like for example, you call ye bail. Maybe bail. Those conditions must be before you meet follow before you be bail. And even the court will make so for you. They meet all the conditions before they grant you bail. So let's not look at it, Kafuko. Oh no, because near move up side bail no. They don't just leave you like that.
Well, but the thing is, you know, I know George will to come in.
No, but what I'm saying, we need to put into Kafuko. Niko carry a murder case like it. Iko ya mutale. Ya suspect le ya muta. Iko Kafuko. It's about bail no. bail for the coming code, the cable, yeah, bail for another condition on the phone.
Yeah.
You have to meet that close condition. But all the time, the police like a bail. Phone through police, they bail you.
Yeah.
In this case, you can go court level building approval for your bail. So court will make so called luani taraji jani be bail.
But ima mera ko nyimbe abe more emboldened la le more minalonko because rape aning ñun foy ka fa statutory fen quality rape ni murder ñun fen leti mi alonko ibuka niya jube hani banku bal min do hani American in lalto rape cases solo or murder cases pour ye bail soto wala ka colère. Even though you know mo nyantara amu fen quality follow right yeah suspect le mati ma convict ala follow but when it come to rape or bail crime will need serious to the point me along ko fango ebuka bail deal. So atola what informed that decision to even consider kawoke bailable offense even though it has to be approved by a judge will more to come internet. But what informed that decision?
There was an explanation by the minister, I remember.
Minister of Justice?
Of course, yes, because anything not on the table, I mean, people ask questions, and there will be explanation.
Yeah.
Coming off when we were doing this, we had consultation with stakeholders. Different stakeholders brought in different position papers. And all these things are looked at. I mean, I am not a legally minded person.
Yeah.
If you come to the human rights context, people will talk to you in that direction. Some will tell you a lot of things. But I'm so with this clause, you need to bring in somebody is legally minded from Yasamanang, and then we can all sit.
Yeah.
Maybe we will do a research of memorable explanation of why we consider this particular provision prior to the and then we can also hear from him, with a point as lawyers or judges or legal, whatever. Then we can say so that the public will know.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, not recommend me along until we get it wrong. The judgment was wrong when we were doing this. Then of course we can still go back and correct, because remember we are doing this for the people.
For the people. But you remember for example, below Dolbije, even me that is in the media, I didn't know about this bill.
Because like I said, it's
National Assembly for communication. No,
but this bill has been transited from the 5th legislature to the 6th legislature.
Yeah.
So it was with the Human Rights Committee all along.
Yeah.
We were doing the work. I am in the Human Rights Committee. We went through this bill over and over.
Yeah.
For Ngabang, it's a very bulky bill.
I see that. Yeah.
So, but communication of the because all the time I learned tableau criminal offenses bill be considered or be it's always on the agenda.
Yeah.
It's always there. Maybe people also don't have interest to go after, because criminal offenses is all legal,
People have I think I've never seen Gambians so engaged in the National Assembly like we are now. But again, you guys have a communication department. Sometimes it will be important for people to know, because because most of these things
they go after National Assembly members need a debate people need to stop that. People need to look at.
I think you guys should even do National Assembly in local languages to reach to our people, because to be honest,
English whether you can speak or not is not the problem here. But what am I doing? So people need to go after the car, make sure be caring. If I'm not doing it right, tell me you're not doing this right.
Yeah.
I mean, that has nothing to do with my English or my
no, my friend.
Exactly.
It should be about the substance of what you're doing. But going back to still the communication, if you're making laws on behalf of the people should also know what laws you're making. In some instances, there should be even consultation. But for example, below Dolnata, alcohol keno nyari le pour molia ele input natale apart from, because I know caring mola fenkol stakeholders, for example, if anything has to do with the media, GPU and the Human Rights Commissioning or the CSO canale ele input di. But we are a small group, but when it comes to the general population, laws that affect everybody, something like this, how do you reach out? Alka reach out to no more public
hearings. We did public hearing. Okay. But of course, also we stakeholder identification, like I said, all the stakeholders were identified. Even the police, we brought all these people, lawyers, the judiciary, all of them are stakeholders. They all sat on this. They brought their position papers. And if you look at the position papers, none of them object. There was no objection. Although they objected certain things and they proposed other things. But yeah, because it's always informed by what the stakeholders are also telling us. So that is where we pick internal report on carbon world with the recommendations, with the interaction we had with them, and call some plenary. But sometimes, yes, like this one, maybe nobody touched this one.
No. Mama. Yeah.
You understand? And as representatives, we feel like maybe it's good for the country, but there were explanations. Yes, it's best practice. So why not we keep it? So we keep it. When people are seeing it differently,
no, rape and
but we need more enlightenment from different legally minded people
because
to tell us.
Rape and murder, these are very serious offenses.
You can improve on that. Bring in more people, more legally minded.
I think I'll have to
tell us. What do they think? So that we can also learn from them. Like I said, then we can always rectify ourselves. Lawmakers can always do that.
Nami mfanaje jawolong fortune tellers on konte malong aliyo bondi damisila. Mo mini halonko.
Pero moral kay. Hello ni
no moral yante nyimwela ngani mfumandika kala moral fanang. Ale ni fo alko. Alko mbatude ngari morole ani ite balo na nyari ko kar ni te ni haftano min dun tendi ne garambo wadu isita ite balo how would you determine who is a false moral also moral ka duani ni ka alal dan
molle kata police ka fuko kare no ko tambulle aka ka nyine ka yara famuno abuka ka fonde yala molle kata police fonde and lu am ka tarno je ko tenge bita you getting money from people malo nyari ka fa nyari le fon obtaining money by false pretense. I don't know whether for nying kunto ko tala fawon ko malo police la ko determine luwa la wote malo but coming molle kata ni moral de dun de kudu nyote ma amanta ku isa fa ko nyi manke tinga tajana fin tajana or maybe more car le nyi kenna this is a problem ni problem of siala ko ngana society mi for example ni motara moro ya atata duani no je moro falen ko batunga ala dani duani manjabi ko ayela ko ta false pretense itata police mol fale
ni wala ko
tapale ya
how would you determine duani tapale everybody believe to ka knowledge to tole based on atemi mir police ol bolo na nyaade mune bo ko kono mune o mari ke tapale ay bolo na nyaade
ngo abrin kungane na ngambe kungane ka mbana ka mingali mankili ya yalla tapale yalti yo Otifal, wol tapale yalti wol manke morialti mo ngamel moro men ala dani ani moro be ko ta mol bulu ka fako mbejin kala ta nula wol fatal e ma yalti ma ala fon tolom fon pol mankili yako moro ma ala fon tolom o mo ka fen keno moy so but yalla on come fo do wala ndoro maybe ima fako na beje sayni bitam arrest la mo sambala but luwala miyan capital la rinjiri in case nata coming this situation in arise there is something for police and bangla men ka fuko okay there is a law say in charge from this wolndro but ngalon ko moro mbi gambia men ko kolke they do things rightly and then moment tapale yala unless fali me tapale yala dimme tapale yakede wallahi luwa bi mutata okay mom ay sene
kujama vijende I'm just looking at offenses relating to religion to insult religion of any class, disturbing religious assemblies, trespassing on burial places, altering words that with intent to wound religious feelings.
You know the experience even in Talindi, what happens there when the church was there, and then people went there. So Christians are they have a religion in the Gambia. They are also citizens, so they have right to their religion. They can exercise whatever how they want to exercise their religion, and that should not be my concern as a Muslim. So I think this law, will break. I have right to my religion as a Muslim. So as the Christian as well. Now woman can produce. So I shouldn't go after the person. You understand? Just like even Muslim in the micro na jamoro. I try to of course, I can I say more camera can disturb, but that's our religion. Until last time I found it.
Yeah.
No Christian or no other religion will comment about that. So if I'm being we have no
right
comment. We have
to
no
do
comment
that.
over that or hold them down.
Hold on. Offenses against morality. A male person living in earnings of prostitution or persistently soliciting women living and earning and then suspicious premises, brothels, attempts to procure abortion, attempts by women with child to procure her own abortion and related offenses. Abortion is criminal.
In the Gambia? Yes.
Oh.
In the Gambia, abortion is criminal.
Knowledge of age of female immaterial, unnatural offenses, attempt to commit unnatural offenses, indecent practices between males. Indecent practices between males. That is
I mean,
homosexual.
Yeah, of course, that is law.
Indecent by females. Yes. Whoa, that's a lot in this bill.
So the bill has a lot of things in the bill. But yeah, I'm sure you can improve on this bill by bringing a lot of legally minded people to deal with, the substance clauses and, get more explanation for people also to formulate Fujamalonje. Because come yafa mol man tara akalam tarim bake. Luwaji memina and ñin luwala mu fenti mi yalan ko momo e kuke mi yalan ko ani silomanta ni be busola le kay bala ñin dulal to fonde so ye famo fer ninke every action ala buso ñi ala buso ñin bu ko kon so which means mol ñanta bala no wala yalla mu debe so that people can mol se fan tankano ko dol la ntol fara be kon der pour ka diaw mo nga men lon kafo but nta banna nim mem fa interest so you can go after it nim mel lafta la fanan ala soft copy you can always get to me, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important for you as a citizen.
But I think you guys, there's a lot in this bill, and I think it's important for people to know. There's so much there because, so Cabral when you bill for pasla, do you guys also because for example, this one where nuisance and offenses against health and convenience, right? Common in nuisance, gaming houses, betting houses, lotteries, but these are businesses that have been registered and they pay license. They're registered under government laws and they are paying their license, even brothels and others, right?
If you're not registered now, you are offending. If you're not registered,
no, but these are they are already registered. That's what I'm saying. But saying if you wala activities will consider as an offense, then indirectly that is contravening the other law that gives them rights to be operating in the country.
Well,
Imamir.
Let me read that clause again.
Yeah, this part 5X11, nuisance and offenses against the health and convenience. Right.
Part 5. Under section?
Under section.
What is the?
Nuisance and offenses, health. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Common nuisance.
Yeah, common nuisance, yeah.
137.
Gaming houses, betting houses, keeper of premises defined, traffic.
So
this one. What is this saying? Yeah.
That's something we need to look at. Now
this is serious. These are businesses.
But there was an explanation. I cannot remember.
You cannot remember?
Like I said, I cannot remember all because sometimes also during consideration I'm not always there. But we can have all these things with other legally minded people. At
the end, number 154, false publication and broadcasting. Why you to see nuisance ning offenses against health?
False publication. False publication.
But what is actually even
no, I think
why did that come under nuisance and offenses against health and convenience?
No, the heading doesn't matter. Among heading among kumaya bag. What is the provision? The provision in the kumaya. It doesn't mean ko anya tar la heading ko dia ko. Okay. The provision obe luwaning ko.
Yala nying false publication ali wala samba cyber crime below kono.
Abijel.
And our argument is, Honorable, seriously, our argument is, what is it determined as a false publication?
You are not taking me out of these things.
No, because honestly, yes.
No, you are a media guy now.
No, because now because this
No,
affects me and every other person that practice.
No, that one you solve it, and then you can bring us another day.
No,
you can discuss
I'm
about
not going to solve it there.
And then you bring why don't we self-follow? Self this one. We can talk about this later.
Why would we talk about it later?
Then we will look at it. Munemu false publication. Publications. Because I remember when we were discussing about this, even this issue, there were questions. What do we determine as false publication in the media?
Yeah.
False publication. No, I don't like a publication. What do we determine as false publication? A publication that you remember verifiable. No. You just publish something that at all. You just sit and then publish. Or maybe something happen, you might verify.
For example, no example, dear. For example. Point newspaper or story. Me along ko ila source ko president was thinking to give car Mohammed Jah. Actually a category NPP ko ala category police ala categorized under that le. But hanin fa nga fa jale ko bari
this might be you close probably translated from the old one.
No, but this is
But it has been there.
No, but this is serious.
But it has been there.
No, it has been where?
In the
probably.
No. But I'm not. The moment you proposed, nobody proposed to bring in this clause when we are considering.
But why is it there?
It has been there. It has been there before.
But it has been there, but that doesn't mean it's to stay there. That is why you guys, your job is to see what is appropriate.
That's why now I'm saying, yes, the bill was bulky.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things in the bill.
There's a lot. I'm saying, yeah.
So we wouldn't be able to know all the clauses. But I know there were explanations for each and every clause. You understand? Explanation for Kerr. Because this is consideration. Now, when we feel false publication is wrong in a country, as representative, yeah, we know false publication
But when
is wrong.
you just say false publication, you did not...
What is the crime? What is the crime?
What do you determine?
What is the penalty?
I don't know what the penalty is.
It should be there. There should be a penalty. On the... near it, you should be able to see the penalty.
Because every
don't worry. I'll look at that later. We will see it. We will see it. But this has been there. It's a new provision. More proposed false publication. No. Maybe it's about them from the old. Because this bill has been there. Remember, I told you, the bill was introduced.
I understand, but just because it's there doesn't mean you should keep it there. If you see something that is not right, you should be able to expunge it. That is why, for example, right now, cyber criminal laws a consideration stage, right? So that is a law that you guys are working on. So to make it look okay, you guys could have expunged this out. Now for cyber criminal, treat it properly because people are giving you.
People say you are defending yourself now.
No, I'm not defending. Of course, I will defend my right. This is my right.
Now what I'm saying is.
This is my life.
No, what we are saying, I know you don't do false publication.
I don't do that.
Perfect. That's it.
I don't do false publication. But the thing is, no, you know what is determined as false publication? One example of like a voice newspaper, that was not a false publication. That was not.
They should prove it.
It was not false publication. But you know, in journalism, you know what is called source, and especially when you tell people my source is you understand? Source you honey be sambala kaburo konetela source fola. And that is okay. We all have sources. I have like crazy sources in NPP, just like I have it in UDP or even at State House. So that is normal in journalism to have people.
You have sources at State House too.
I do. I can tell you.
No.
Yeah, but seriously.
But you close
yeah.
Yes, we can solve it. And
but
then,
this is
we can open this.
But you loyalty already in Colofo.
No, it's low.
Behind the corner, Mota Kalam Talbe Minkang.
This one.
But Mama 5
good years.
This was alleging somebody Duma.
This bill took us 5 years to consider. So there should have been interest.
But a bill like this, a la bulkiness, Benjamin, and I call him Bay and Bembakon. How come we didn't know that this was going through in the National Assembly?
It was going through. I mean, people.
How come people didn't know about it?
No, people were not following.
No, we didn't know.
They were not following. This bill going 5 years in the parliament. It's with the committee doing their work. So I'm saying, the people were not following. People are not interested in the criminal offences. We are only interested in the other bill, the former president bill called. But this one also is very important, huh?
This is serious. This is.
So people are not following.
This is really serious.
Yeah.
This is really serious. I hope.
But we can open a discussion on this one. I mean, people can put in their opinions to say how they think about it. And in fact, we can do further reading. And, because criminal offences
below is really bulky, and there's so much in there. And I don't know whether you guys really took your time to look at this, because there's so much in this bill.
We took our time to do that.
Did you guys look at the Fenko in this criminal below? Do you bail conditions Fenko? Because ngalneko yalong Constitution 2020 drafting. From 48 hours, for example, ni mo police ole mo detention at least from 72 to 48. But in 2024, Barola draft. Yeah, move it to 72, back to 72. Is that something that this bill address? Was that part of this criminal offense?
Arrest Bejele. Arrest Bejele, you would say arrest. Excuse me, because Mabelog.
I know, yala nga fumole ko saje mboka lemon song, but
if you look at part of arrest with lad. So I'm so about capture
Aro abijele.
Because when I read arrest I did not go deep
in it.
Let me look at the clause. Arrest, general criminal responsibility. So, because the bill is bulky, so
yeah, it's very bulky.
People will have to excuse us.
It's very bulky, yeah, because we are reading it through and also looking at this. So the bill is very, very bulky.
And arrest clause.
Yeah, arrest in jail. Because these are things me along ko. Inte science and inte balona ko false broadcasting. Inte be casting every minute. Yara often be below kono. I think Madi did not see this. I have to bring it to Madi's attention. Madi Jawar.
False publication there. But nobody should do false publication.
No. More false publication ke. Atol ka determine alpha ko false publication. No. Albuka long atol kasira wrong. How do you determine what is false and what is not false? Hani luato ka for the alternative truths. Hani either a court. It is if you correct ntenga je blue long. Jojo loyal for hani court song ko fenkele. So false publication, especially when you're dealing with politicians, right? They will take advantage of the law and just and give you punishment just because you code for so that is also something we are in advance, because alba for international best practice ale all know when it comes to law raping more than you but not ale all know false publication alma will know international best practices alma know auto. Because best practice more free speech, more liberty and press freedom. So that doesn't go well with this false publication. It's not best practice.
Now you have to bring your argument. Man arrest follow.
Arrest.
No, it's there. Arrest Bejele. So where Yundum for sure. I saw sentencing. Duty of principle. Excuse us. So but because we did not read everything, so you wouldn't be able to. Sentencing rules, imprisonment, fines, cost and compensation. You talk about security, keeping peace, forfeiture, and all that.
There's so much.
Concealment of treason.
The treason, for what treason the journey. I don't know. Seditious from Kofele. Seditious publication means a publication having a seditious intent. Seditious word means words having seditious intentions, right?
Yes.
how do you know it's seditious intention? Nintanga story safe. How it about determine no local I have the intent for it to be seditious.
But the work investigation all the investigation the Malako Bundi.
Honorable, that doesn't go with best practices.
But the investigation will be the law will be there.
Exactly, mimbe cyber criminal law to yole be kutuna inata fenanja. Punishment relating to prohibited publication. A person who imports, publishes, sells, or offers sales of, distributes, reproduces any publication, the importation of which has been prohibited under Section 49, for the first-time offenders for $50,000 is imprisonment not exceeding 1 year. My problem is atol ba lo na nyadi leko wo mu seditious intent.
Non tol talo no loko tol wonde. Tol ngal wala malda. Men be investigate wala bo lonna ka foko ya establish ko nyinde nyineketa.
No. This is serious, Honorable. This is serious.
And then loyal, Jojo.
No. I told me I did. I told you that for loyal. No, but I told you that. But the law, you can't do that. Law, you to work for everybody.
So you think the law is against?
Yes, the law is against us broadcasters.
Like how?
How do you determine what is seditious? It may mean determine what is seditious. For example, as a public officer, covering chairman, right? People have divergent views, right?
Sure.
Somebody would say, I don't believe Abdoulie can do this because I believe, he will cover NPP more and everything, right? Because I mean for that's a seditious intent. Might not be true, right? But what am I believed it? And you are in the public domain. You are serving as a public. That's an opinion, right? But me knowing Abdoulie, I think Abdoulie can do a great job in this. You understand? Because he believes in this. But then, need to see it be as a public officer. This person is trying to defame my character. I mean for thing among ketonyati, you can use this law to go after that person. But that person has a right to that opinion because you are working in the public interest. And it's an opinion.
I didn't comment. I think you're
no,
right.
you know I'm right?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that.
No, but
I'm not going to comment. I'm so cool. You have a point though.
Yeah.
You have a point. But
for example,
I'll let it go.
Yeah.
Like I said, these things are open for discussions. Already it's a law, and then we can.
It's a very bad law.
We can open it up.
This is a very bad law.
I should hear this from somebody else. Somebody else should come.
No, the reason why it's because this directly affects me. That's why I said, right? You make laws that affect all of us. For example, so this is my life, my livelihood, and everything. I get it from broadcasting.
So you think this is going against you?
Yeah, I do think, yeah.
I'll do a further reading on this. I did not read it. Covering up.
Sedition, I know it's not against a person, but
yeah.
I'm saying,
We'll look at this. But I'm not saying
it's against the state.
No.
It's not against a person, it's against the state. But the state and, it's Molbe, you, me, and everybody, the president, everybody.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's not bad. It's not bad to have all these laws in place. I know, like I said, if you're running a country, of course, all these things you need to put them in place.
Yeah.
People can see it differently.
Yeah.
So
your sister, you are lawmakers. You are lawmakers. You are not interpreters. It's the judges that interpret the law. But the law that you make. I think Jara should understand the law that you make.
Even for us,
know that you are making these laws wrong, Tata. The law that you make, right? You should know the implications of the law.
But even for us, sometimes the judges will notify our
yeah.
Yeah. Based on the objective of that law. What are they telling us? What is the intent?
Yeah.
What do they want to do? Why are they bringing this? If the explanation I feel like the explanation is genuine, until at our level, of course we will take it. But that doesn't mean
But why do you think? Why do you think what we of bringing a false publication and broadcasting law?
No, but we are not expecting anybody to bring in false publication. But what we are trying to do also can make soko nga situation about not nobody do it. There should be something maybe remedy that. There must be a law. In case there is a law. Nobody has a problem. But you putting in the law doesn't mean probably the law is going to target Fatou or somebody else because Fatou will think no. The law should be there. Remember, it's criminal offenses, and the criminal offenses should contain everything criminal.
Yeah.
Bangkok. Is criminal wrong. The offenses bill must capture.
Yeah.
So that now situation arise to the wrong. Not the police, not the court. The court will also rely on something. Yes, you are charging in Dulala, and then this is what we are going to do.
Offenses relating to marriage and domestic obligations.
Yeah.
Fraudulent pretense of marriage, bigamy, marriage ceremony fraudulently gone through without lawful marriage, dissertation of children. Ooh, that is interesting. Neglecting to provide food for your children. That is neglecting to provide food for your children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nobody should do that as well.
Yeah.
You should not leave your kids without giving them food. You should take care of them.
That's a very good law.
Yeah.
That is definitely a very good law.
So why should you do that? Because divorce is normal. You can divorce. But when you divorce, you don't have to.
But you have to take care of your child.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So Kendall baby la flower. Kendall baby so no. Gambian Creole, most of them are good people. They are good. There's so much in this.
They are good provisions. They are good.
But then it's the implementation part that we have.
They will implement. Because remember, the police also rely to do a lot of things. Now they have new offenses bill, act. I think a lot of things are also happening now. So they can always bank on this one. They will implement. There will be implementation.
They will implement.
There will be. And in fact, I think they've started. Because this one, when you pass the 4 prior and so.
Yeah. Say lualo.
Saya kayak luar ende.
Selang kamto ko hakil tuo dong.
Hakil tuo. Mo nyan to kala because Bangkok kan kay mom. Bear den tajan na fonte. Mo ibe level to dong. Yeah, you need to make so ko ya hakil to podol to me anan ko. Ay abelwa anilwa fola nyoko dal. So ni wodul keta.
Yeah.
Because these things will come after you. It's for everyone. But coming up in Yamen, more for Nankana, coming on we are perfect in parliament when we are adopting this, coming back, consider. There are certain things, Mfananga read and then in a layman view, okay, this is good for the community. But model is not right.
Yeah.
But they have right to come back to correct and pace feel Yaming, and that will also help the representative prior for review.
Yeah.
And those amendments, anybody can bring an amendment. But if you are not also communicating with your MPs or representative to tell them what you think about your members, sometimes if an is right, and then that is how it will be.
Yeah.
You're telling me things, maybe I didn't know.
Yeah.
But when I go back, I will read. If I think I point to of course, I will note that down, and then I can initiate something.
But it's already a law.
But it doesn't mean connect a law. It cannot be
amended.
Yeah, Parliament can amend law. Anybody can bring an amendment at any time in the law.
Okay.
Or if you will defend it, because of course you have to defend.
You have to defend it.
You have to defend the reason why you want to amend.
Yeah. So I think the biggest concern that people will have. Some of these provisions, when you look on the political implications, politicization of our institutions, for example. Nimwe nendiroke. Mi alonko amantara president wala kamto, amantara honorable Abdoulie Ceesay la kamto, right? Nendiroke you arrest. But because we have seen, and I was a champion of advocating for that and bringing attention, IGP attention to stuff like that. Ni modole nendiro ke alse wol arrest, but ni modole yake alcohol arrest. So yalo ni wosi fa ngaji sinya kelentem fulanteng akatina le ni loi dol fongonati molka sila. Molka for this is targeting certain people because we all know what is happening. So as a National Assembly member, for now we loi alcohol conditional for alcohol for miracle sometimes, because obviously we have also seen that happening, and I have called it out several times on Facebook, saying sometimes I'll just tag the police force and say Gambia police force Gambia police force just to bring it to their attention. Maybe they haven't seen it because ika dole arrest bari buka dole arrest and we be kan ni sifa kilong lek.
You want me to comment on that?
Of course, you want to be there to go. Atol police only atol kalwa da mo be.
No,
Hani police operation of an atol like kalwa da yenta guide la nyame. Impartiality.
No, the thing is, coming ya for nyame wrong. I mean, ngambra baby mira nyaklulem. What they should be doing, well, you more be treated equally.
Yeah.
Treat everyone equally.
Yeah.
Irrespective of your political affiliation. That is my one understand.
Santi.
But you know, sometimes people also act the way they think.
Yeah.
You know, feel nyaming. Not necessarily kafako, maybe they're acting because item UDP or NPP. I'm not sure with that. But the way they think
we have seen that. I can tell you that. We have seen that. And I have called it out several times. Anybody that follows me, I'm sure you follow me on Facebook.
I know Jara is watching me, but he knows very well that I don't even know.
Yeah, Jara, trouble. She's troublesome.
So,
na political albuka dia auto, but alka dia football.
Na wala particularly.
But football alka dia auto.
Football ko kachano. Not wo guy. Na exist them. So,
guy la ka my ex brother. Guy la ex brother. Guy la muto kono. I'm like, okay, ex brother ni exist.
But I think. Coming out they should treat everyone equally. You know, irrespective of your political affiliation, moemenke, itata dauda nani luwa mantadro, they treat like equally. And I think the IG and another police, I'm sure they will do that.
So finally, what is happening in the assembly going forward? I know I'll be break there, right? But there are committee activities.
No. Currently, we are not doing committees. But now we are starting session on the 16th.
On the 16th, yeah.
And on the 19th is going to be State of
the Nation. The president is coming. Okay.
Then we continue with our normal ordinary session. But while the session is going on, the commission in the inquiry will also be going on. So the session is not going to stop the inquiry. We are moving. So a lot of things are going to go ahead along each other. So, currently, whatever carry.
But you session minka nanko diaspora bill on kudol fana bina because I'm banno.
The election bill.
The election.
I mean, a consideration. I
mean, ko tenke.
But in Tamil Mandamuro.
But any alte muruna kata ujiwe. Nanyindi amo mimbe.
Anyway, maybe I'm not so. I don't want to talk about that now. Don't matter to it. We will deal with the election bill. I know. We will deal with the election bill, and of course the constitution also will come.
The constitution. The constitution. Are you optimistic? I see that the NCCE, National Civic Education, with the partners UNDP and others. Yeah. UNDP or UN, I'm not sure. UNDP, I think.
I think UNDP. Yeah.
UNDP are doing a consultation. National Assembly members will send to their constituencies, and then to consult, to talk to them, and just. It was interesting. My team were there. It was interesting things that you were hearing from people.
Exactly.
People were really engaged. Yeah, I'll never caring. So, are you optimistic that this bill, the constitution, will pass?
Under the circumstances.
Under the circumstances.
I don't know.
Because I move, I'll go consultation. But yeah, let me understand.
Okay. If you ask me my question.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to go through the process, and then parliamentary process. I mean.
Yeah.
And do away with it. I'm not saying whether they will vote. I mean, it depends on how we think or other people think.
But maybe now, I'll call you a move because of consultation.
Which consultation?
No, I call you a move so that they can consult one more time. Justice Ministry, kabri Natalia. No, yalo.
Last Fenko.
Yeah. Anyante nala nung time min.
Move for June.
Alia move for June. For June. But alia move nung. Considering for consultation.
That consultation is going on.
But one in Yaman, National Civic Education.
But it's a government institution, of course. They're doing consultation and they're making so engage so that people are aware. They're also doing that.
So that was the
other consultation between exec. I don't know. I'm not aware. I don't know anything about it. Maybe.
Any executive consultation.
But sometimes things can happen without you knowing.
Without me knowing, okay.
Yeah. So I know this concert that is going on, the public. Now NCCA went all around the country and engaged.
Yeah.
So I think that has paid some dividend. But also, coming up in constitutional whether another June, when Minister of Justice, they still reserve the right to withdraw. Is their bill?
Yeah.
Until Parliament, our role is to make sure we take the bill through the parliamentary process. Not tabled up. So it told them, and they can always withdraw it even at the second reading stage.
Properly.
Maybe.
Because we don't want to go through a process because being an abenyami not that dead on arrival and being all. The other camp side, me a positive takatandiko. I have heard other politicians, many alonko, Angelico will have to support. But the thing is, the numbers are not there. Minuba fokang hani, ni wolman nanang, alte pasla.
Then that's the process, that's the parliamentary process now. The end parliamentary process and it has been rejected.
Come like 2020 rejected. Yeah, in 2020, I told one so far after you. 2020.
Second reading.
Second
reading. It was the same stage, second reading stage.
Second reading.
The same. So yeah, but then what is important through parliamentary process, and whether it is passed or rejected, it has gone through the process.
It has to go through the process.
But Minister of Justice still reserve the right to withdraw if they think it's not going to work.
But
what we can tell
UDP engage laba. I'm UDP to see Ali new engage bang. Ali common grounds fine. Me alonko atole double fane double. Have you been able to do at assembly level? Because I don't like a carte fine.
No, agree to prior tambi second reading ata.
No, but sign tenting. Janna kafta woto. Janna because being alne ko ning atuda tenting abi fala second reading. Almame ko di 6 feet. Ako nyari 10. I will.
Oba protect. I will live in 99 seven. I don't want grounds don't go for ground table.
Yeah, but I think everybody knows the heavyweights in this is the UDP and the NPP caucus, right? Nali alni sita, ale glado play funny glado. Because to be honest, the Gambian people want a constitution, but we also want a good constitution. We don't want a constitution that gives all the powers.
I agree. We should be able to do that, but
either you are the deputy majority leader.
No, but you see, the thing is, when I talk to somebody about this, he tried to remind me what happened in 2020.
Yes.
So I know it's not going to work. Now, if you remind me what happened in 2020, that has passed. I mean, of course, nothing can happen in the future. So I wouldn't go into detail. I mean, I have a constituency as well. I know a lot of people in the constituency want to make sure we have a good constitution. Some people want we have the 2020 draft. Some people want us to have they don't mind whether we have 20 or 2024. All they want constitutional in my constituency.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, these are the people I'm representing. But apart from that, I also come from a political party. You understand? So all these things can put in place. I mean, people will tell you, no, you have to do this, but go. We are together in this. You are a member of parliament of a constituency. You understand? You are voted by the people. The people who voted for you belong to your party as well.
Yeah.
Some people voted for you, they don't belong to a political party.
Yeah.
They reside in the constituency. They want the good of the Gambia. But all these things, you have to represent your constituency. But also, of course, you come from a political party where you can sit and discuss certain things. That's like what UDP is doing now.
Yeah.
It's a common position, of course.
Yeah.
No, we wouldn't agree to this. Or agree. So that's what we do. As a caucus, we said we are open to discussion, and then we are ready to compromise.
But you did not engage. You are the majority caucus.
We said this several times.
You are saying on air, but did you engage? Like Mahdi, did you engage? Alaji S. Dabo, did you engage? Just to say, hey, let's sit and have a conversation.
Do that.
Because that's what the Gambian people want, Honorable, to see those moves. At least we know that somebody is engaging somebody.
That's what I'm saying. I said that discussion started. Because of Kafuko, what happened in 2020, we did not have the same discussion. We're gonna have the discussion in 2024 or 2025.
Constitution. Albe fasad leke kandro. Fasad londron katandi ka laftal bral mal lafi. Katale mimbe ke yobu ko kono mo.
No, but I think we want a new constitution. Some people will say we don't want it, but we want it. Last time maybe well different, and then 1 or 2 clauses that me and go.
Okay, 1 or 2 clauses. Ale constitution obey falling upside down. Yeah, that's what happened.
Anyway, but can I comment because I mean not talk.
Any
more minute for
any
more lajel.
Tambal. Jareko, I'm being nice to you. This one is my favorite Secunda, so I'm always nice to him. But it's tough. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't think we will have a constitution before elections. Because of the way things are going.
People like Jara, they are against the constitution. They are talking. Whenever I talk to her, they say, "This constitution we are not supporting."
But Phil,
should have been the one to advocate for.
No, but there are things in that constitution. Not advocate for it. There are things.
No, but you see, you allow us to get into dialogue and then discuss. That's what you support.
There are things in that constitution that are not anything that we want close to our constitution.
Well, now we will.
I told Heko. Ngana kar kodo inte ko follow ngabara mero le amo intella de hanim ma fa understand ko ngana kodo karafa minister mina ni president ani vice president ni moli ko ni wolbota mo manene e ko son but dibitel mi an ko tonya mbuka ko di karafa to lanka kayti ken sen wala di la fa la kunta bari kon sa to ko son wo accountability leti
yo jele ngolo ngof mo ngo o mo ndara do kolti yo fa defanam fa hanna mbe NPP de ndebe NPP le and ndebe député wolde you understand I mean ni ol wana ta parliament do ko of course you know ko that one ke pende minyen ta sabati la you understand we hold a different view to that just like how they hold different view to so many other clauses in the constitution. So I know parliament do ko wala ko let's come together and see. I mean like maybe in 2020 so let's come back and rectify that and then move on as parliament. So panam mang da ko now we are seeing parties.
No, ale fenkota na lafta force nyuni alla moy alnyanta accountability talako atole nanyi do reject and wali akanyame wrong tane
ngari reject based
because
on
alman sonka alman negotiation ke alkami nyin nga bi all of sural ko lingay diwo nan ko heñu alkami
ani de bari meña nyina de ko en ko mantra mo nyani kanal nyimbe do ko la nyani ni putaje ko anga ka funyo nga do ko ni son dara ni wan so ngala
but alfana wol kenu 2020 ko atol man negotiate
fa man nyani ko
al natale so man dal ko dead on arrival
ani de meben 2020 they knew very well ko ntol we are not in support they did not engage us so they know it they engage yembro je ka fa mbon fe ba hanyi fe ba kelal bo
because yal ni mo le
okay sai fa hanyi le ba kelal
bar yalo mini 2024 draft fata yalo mo ne afata majority of the Gambian people man left in 2024 it's because of the process no majority of Gambians majority malafala because of the process ali process tar ali abeta ali akaltati ali adamaya doku alma
but even 2020 draft namur na parliament congress it will be amended again
yes it will be amended
yes amended
and to be honest that is why I believe ko either 20 or 2024 no mean not amendment because it has to go to national assembly
remember like amendment is simple majority, but our final vote is 3/4 majority.
It's 3/4 majority, yeah. But honorable nanko, yalong atol lenyin di amobe nat. Because yalong UDP tenong albi mtala damino. Nale 2020 nat. Ibalanta call min belaji majority batolable. Nal tata committee stage. Alasta min bela 2022 majority of it ali adundije. Nal tata assembly of the whole house. Kodi nima vote. This is a political tactics. Atolebe sila nali vote against it. Then you have bragging rights. But just what's the point of going to create a new constitution? Obviously, because more bekera political lens bele. You did fanang, but some political call for just like Atolo, itol fanan politically lom, but they just hiding behind the.
No, that's true.
That's the truth. Well, in political, more make a political play at some point. But then what would have been good on the people's constitution? Me uncle more be embrace. Nalia natino. ali asamba assembly to ali few fenkeje ati diale kodi bari abekela ko process timi yalo ko ite hanyere because ibajila ko banko bela penyu banko bela ko
Suleman sa ko yara da
baratol man son ko okay so atol fanangola and tol ko fartol fang la constitutional ba I don't believe ko the president and the NPP I don't believe nobody can convince me ko Allah the constitutional.
Oh, of course we want the constitution. Fat. That
is my belief. I don't think, and it's not false publication for your information. This I'm saying is not false publication. It's my belief. By design false publication bill be fen ko lual be banko ka. Mara alben terlajan. Tol ba fulal na no alen sambal wo. Tol ba fulal. Min belief ta min ba fulal en ba sa felal. Alfen samba en bulalen samba en bulalen ba fulal.
Tango nyanyi luwa jazake.
Ni luwa me fulal fo gambe be amoy. Ni luwa. Me fulal fo gambe be amoy. Honestly, real. Kachadi ata watu sita la ilafta mune sarodi la badi wala especially alkana fenko la president onyantana la State of the Nation address. We look forward to that. Hopefully, the president will be able to address some of the concerns. Domorok Seliambe Bankoka, Tulo Ninjabo ni Mano ni Kurao ni Fengolo. Dolsi sa kunang call ni kamera kunang call ni ture kunang call umuntola sula quality. So for president ngabera anyanta wol dol jibel kato. Se kunang call mi halon ko tel kamani boto do mo karo sai ka fo mani boto karo kono wala ko yata.
Ndo nyeka no wala bari nga mobe tentu mbe jibelo la. Comme kachañi hakil ma kachale ndong amangi fanam comme ko londo sahyar gum dum bulu kana kasi kamol karandi no kanal dum purum fana hakilo nga fu mo ya understand men ke rinje to do baras ke no men be lamoro wolle ya lon ka tambindol fangala ni ya lon ka tambinde fana se modol hakil ma yandi ko wala fonte halin tol fongi sa hakil ma yandi no men we are open to that the discussion will come go kumar back so comme ya fu nyamen do ko mina nyato na commission inquiry nyimbe continue la parliament fanda ordinary session start la president of the State of Nation address ni kala ala cool mi yalanga be tam
ya haklo be ko cimento bu ko soto ada ala fata albedere national assembly albedere
ani ko bari
cimento bu ko soto ada ala fata
yalong nim bol kan tonya son ta
ali exclusive ta ali banko be bali cement exporters ali alko e kana cimento natina bari minu fana lafta mini anati man banko supply no last week nga cimento ni le fom patat bi nga modo ja ko cimenti boto ko 5525
ngol be mo bari yalon to as parliament even the committee must study ka ko ñi tinni kendo la ñu ñanta kala all dol manke follow so maybe nimurta in June session we will look at those things and then temporal measure be jele for now but we need to look at it deep ka understand mun ñanta kala in the long run ka make so can cool about so I think the trade committee will do that nimurta in June session although sign na be carry remember committee
but this is not the first time scarcity aketa le nung apply so la fata aketa so and it looks like it's intentional anytime cimento man kita bake na la fata na fengeta akasele santol
yeah so but I think
and this is something we use daily
committee minister engage I think we will address that more right in June session you will hear from the committee inshallah
hopefully
yeah so coming nga fa jamandro president mi na fa nambala State of Nation address kala coming ala ko banko tamandiri nya ani kukutol me
what are you looking forward to this year State of Nation address major things
we are expecting the statement is reflective of what is happening currently. I'm sure the president will do that. In fact, yeah, it depends on how we see it differently. That people say, no, the president did not say anything. Of course, we say he says something because that's what he's doing. We are seeing it, so we wouldn't say that. But there are gaps, and I think on a yearly basis, you can closely make sure they address it. People are concerned, so put into consideration as well. Just like this one. State of Nation address was in September, but because of public concerns and more concerns, the community race now is coming down.
It's coming further.
In fact, June is a bit late. It should have been around March. But I was for June because of some technical issues. So I'm so cool.
Okay.
Next year, first
semester,
so I think they are putting into consideration more concerns like community race with regards to State of Nation address, the timing and some of the things, the content, some of the things that they expect from the president. So we are expecting that. We are expecting those things will be put into consideration again so that we can have a fruitful
State of the Nation.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. And we will be here to analyze the statement after the statement.
Inshallah.
To see if it reflects what is really happening in the country. Hopefully he addresses the cement shortage, the rice price, gas burning, corona.
Bring Suleiman Sao. He's the one I can.
Suleiman. Kay muso tabul kay bafla muso table Suleiman Sao nentole na de Suleiman te fango buka Suleiman so te fango buka Suleiman ning almami jiba te buko
bari sama na ko renge ibol sama wo se sono sama na ko renge na
so almost flow ite ya bari ya ite kaminge ite kasile ye painyo ka ye siye jube ko leke because kana ila kulo ila malu kana because Suleiman buka song bari mun ko la buka song Suleiman bari mun ko Suleiman buka song almami fanan dum buka song almami ni almami any babili mansa area maro
Suleiman Sao buka la force
hani Suleiman buka babil ko
Suleiman don't believe in babili so arka babili
almami buka la force so kani almami fenge so they come after each other and then it is ireki be jubel but wolum te fango ila kokos to wolum mati la balek ko almam coordinate but almam coordinate that was true
but Suleiman Falang was sometimes aka sarande
yes Suleiman badi bunkolom guy badi bunkolom but thank you so much honorable for coming. We appreciate it. Hopefully Madi Nyondolo before session will start or right after the State of the Nation address we'll come here and I'll bring Almameni Suleiman and then we can look at the president's speech first after the
no problem.
I think that will be interesting. Thank you so much, Honorable. And you guys watching, thank you so much for watching until we come your way next week. And obviously, I think I'm having Lansong Kongji, ni master so Boston Dal this week or early next week. I'm a big fan of Lansong, so I'm going to have a special session with him. So I can't imitate his. I'm a big fan. I represent some court le police le kalamta. Koi kala WhatsApp or block cut. Nimasa kuja kala WhatsApp or block. So some police la guy ni nama minjeng ole moi present some police.
Ya ni WhatsApp block ni jawab block la.
Malonde. Ako ida SIM card follow ke kabra ko. Ntelo Lansong Konke me Gambia. Ako para cut. Ya SIM card block. Ngomong ke baru dalam sekundara.
Baru tu je kena sende.
That's all. Spare Fena. He doesn't spare Baro, but definitely I'm going to bring him. Thank you so much, Honorable. Good night to you all. See you again next Thursday. But before that, I'll be here with Lansong Konke. I don't know what date. He's ready waiting for me. I just need to coordinate the day. It will be one of these days. I'll let you guys know. Thank you very much, Honorable Abarka Baake, and to you watching. Good night to you all. See you next week, Thursday, inshallah.
We are happy to announce the launch of our new logo. We have evolved since our incorporation in 1997, and it is time to refresh our new look to reflect who we are today. Before I reveal our new look, however, walk with me while I take you through our journey of the last 25 years. Trust Bank was incorporated on July 3rd, 1997 and began operations on October 1st, 1997. Following the collapse of the parent company of its predecessor, Meridian, the CBG stepped in and recapitalized the bank and held the shares in trust, thus the name Trust Bank. In 1999, the first investors who responded to the IPO and paid $1.50 per share received their maiden dividend of 50 bututs per share. In 2000, the bank fully paid back its investment by declaring another dividend of $1.20 bututs per share, making it a cumulative dividend per share of $1.70, which was 20 bututs above the purchase price. Between 2002 to date, share capital has increased from $27 million to $200 million, indicating that the bank has grown organically by plowing back profits to increase capital, while at the same time paying dividends to shareholders. The bank was listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange in November 2002, being the first ever cross-border listing in the sub-region. Now let's talk about awards. The bank was awarded the insignia of the National Order of the Republic of the Gambia, ORG, in the year 2010 by His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia. During the past years, the bank has received so many national and international awards. Banker Magazine, 6 times. Global Finance, 6 times. Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, 5 times. We began operations with 3 branches. Now, we have 18 branches and 20 ATMs and counting. On digital services, mobile app, check. Online banking, check. Transaction alerts, check. Watch this space. We've got more coming. Creating employment, yes, we've got that too. 400 and counting. And we take great care of our people too. Medical insurance, life insurance, private and state pensions, annual pilgrimages for both Muslims and Christians, training, yes, we do them all. One team, one family, one goal. That's the Trust Bank spirit. On corporate social responsibility, we have spent over $50 million in various causes. We care, and so we share. Over the years, we have paid over $1.6 billion to our shareholders, which translates to a whopping $20 per share and counting. Phenomenal returns for our shareholders who purchased at $1.50. Corporate taxes, over $1 billion is paid. Our journey started with a vision to create the kind of company that delivers quality services and innovative products with an inspired team dedicated to serving our customers, our environment, and our communities at large in the most caring manner. We remain fully committed to delivering excellent services to each of our stakeholders, customers, employees, shareholders, and partners. So, we remain true to who we have always been. As we